Classroom? Does everybody have the link to Google Classroom?
Yes.
Can you share the link in the chat, please?
Yes. We'll share the link in the chat, but does everybody have access to Google Classroom at this point in time?
Yeah. I would go with an assumption they do, because they had to get into the classroom before they could actually join the meet.
Okay, so we're going to figure out the classroom a little bit, just because we have a few things here that are waiting for you guys. So can you see my classroom screen? Yes? Can everybody see my classroom screen? So this is the stream where you can ask questions, write questions. If you have anything, we'll always be taking a look at it. This is where we actually jumped in from the meeting. So conversations, this is almost like a chat. Stream is almost like a chat. Classwork, we have an assignment for you. There is code of conduct that we strictly want to adhere to. So we want to make sure that there is no bullying. Everybody is mindful of each other. We're nice to each other. We're polite. We're punctual. And we're going to have fun today. That is what we need to focus on today for the most part. So you'll find things like this here. And for the most part, I want you to look at these ones here. There's some student sheets. There is a solution sheet. So if you look at student sheet, there is a syntax sheet, which helps you understand which HTML tags are used for what. So these are your references. I also have a CSS property value sheet, which you can take a look for everything that we'll be doing along with CSS. And there's an explanation. So there is a tag and there is a description. Solution sheet has all the solutions for the exercises we'll be doing in class today. We'll be doing in class today. So these are some of the things that we'll be covering. Headings, paragraphs, lists, images, text colors, background colors, borders, fonts, how to attach link and add images. We'll get into it more detail, but there are more references for you to look up when you do your project and your assignments. There is more references here, and the slides are available too. The slides for today's class is available here too. All right, let's go back. So does everybody have access to Classroom, and do you know how to use it? Yes? Okay. So how do we make websites? Anybody? Do you know what goes first into making websites? We need to know why we need to make a website, right? Can you just make a website? Yes, we can. But what is it about? We need to know what it is about, right? Okay, then what do we do? After that, what do? We need to design the web page. We need to code for it. And then we test it and we launch it so that it goes public and we can share with everybody. So what is code? Code is basically a set of instructions that tells the computer what to do. That's very easy, right? We write something the computer needs to understand. So what we write is basically like me talking to you guys. I'm telling you something. But you need to be able to understand it. So if I don't speak it in English, how will you understand it? So this is basically what we're doing. We're writing instructions in a language that the computer can understand what to do. So can somebody tell me what a browser is? Do you guys know of any browsers? Hubert, you want to go first?
Google would be a browser.
Google? Chromium? Yeah? So Chrome is a browser, but Chrome's major job is to interpret the code that we write for websites and actually show us the website, to load the website. So what is HTML? HTML is the language of the web. It is a markup language. It is not a programming language. And we've done this so many times. So I'm going to ask Cindy if she can tell me what the difference between a markup and programming language is. Cindy, do you remember?
Not really. I know what
Not
HTML is, but I don't know what the other one is.
Okay, so one is used for presentation, while the other one is used for data manipulation.
Oh.
Now, what that means is if you had if conditions in your programming, so if A is greater than B, then do something, that would be a programming language. Whereas what we're learning today is how to put things together so it looks nice, right? Or it's presentable. And that is why we need markup languages. So HTML construction, so everything has a syntax. Every language that we speak has grammatical rules, right? You can't say I is, I are. You have to say I am. Do you guys agree with me? Right. So it's the same thing for HTML. Always has an opening tag and a closing tag. They always go in pairs for the most part. 90% of the times they go in pairs. There's an opening tag, there's a closing tag. What's the difference between an opening and a closing tag? If you notice there's a forward slash, that is the major difference. So whenever you add a forward slash, it becomes a closing tag. Anything that goes between the opening tag and the closing tag is called content. Everything including the opening to the closing tag is called an element. So today we'll be coding in 3 steps. 1, we're going to use Replit to code. 2, you're going to build together. We're going to build something together. And then 3, you'll get a chance to do your own project. How does that sound to everybody? Sounds good? Thumbs up? Everybody thumbs up? Thumbs up. Okay. So let's look at Replit. How many have an account on Replit? You have an account on Replit? Okay, let's log in then.
Hubert, do you have an account with Replit? Oh, you do?
He said yes.
It's a school account. Because you've been doing this in school.
Okay. Nice.
All right, let's log in then. Cindy and Kayla, you have your accounts already, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We do. Okay. So I'm gonna skip over the sign up steps, but I'm going to ask you guys to go in and start coding or create a REPL with HTML and CSS. So do you guys know how to do this? You go to your home page. Once you go to your home page, you can actually say add another one. There's a button on the corner, the plus sign, top right. You can see it on my screen. Click on it, and you can choose HTML, CSS, and JavaScript as the language. So you create new REPL. Sorry, Lubna?
Was just wondering if Wilma's got any difficulty there.
Is Cindy and Kayla with us?
I got in.
All right. Did you create your new REPL?
I thought we were gonna use our old one, a current one.
Okay. You can still use your old one, but I would rather use a new one. Hubert, you good? Okay. Kayla, you good? Did you create your new REPL? Kayla? Okay, I'm gonna move on till I hear otherwise from Kayla.
I think
Kayla, do you just want to say if everything's fine with you. Are you facing any difficulty? All you've got to say is I'm good.
Hubert, what's going on? You have a question?
When we create it, what language do we select?
So we're selecting HTML, CSS, and JS.
Um,
Okay. Uh, Alice, do you want to do a breakout session with Kayla? Apparently, she's upset because.
Sure, yeah, I can do that. I'll just post it in chat.
Yeah.
Cindy, are you good?
Yes.
So what do you see on your Replit page?
It says HTML.
Okay. So did you manage to create a REPL? A
Yeah,
new
I made a new
REPL?
one.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so once you created a REPL, you will see three columns, right? Your page is divided into three sections. One is where the list of files is. The second one is your IDE, your working area. The third one is where your presentation, whatever you build, will show up here once you start running it. The run is the yellow circled button there. Okay, hold on one second.
Are we good to proceed? Does anyone want to wait about a bit?
I think we probably need to engage with Keela, because I think we have a problem there.
Yes, I think so. Kayla, can we see you, sweetheart?
Kayla? Tubabia? Samash? Oh no.
Kayla, we did all of this last week.
Components of green tea are currently being studied.
We did all of this last week. Where are you stuck?
It's one of the most beverages you can have. Be sure to check out my video on the benefits of green tea. I'll link it here and I'll also put it down in the description box. Next, we have legumes such as peanuts, beans, and lentils. These are plant.
Kayla, I can't hear you. I think there is some background
No.
audio or something going on. I can't hear you. Do you want to turn the volume down, please?
I don't know how to go on Replit.
Oh, we did this last time. Okay, you go to Replit on the browser. Remember? Repl.it. Can somebody copy paste the link for her, please?
Yep.
Keela, can you check the chat room?
Okay.
Here.
Do you see it? Do you see the chat room? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, can you log in like you did last week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay, so once you log in, what do you see?
Did you log in? You did not log in. You just on the page. Did you log in?
Does it show your name on top
No.
Your screen
when
should
you
look
go?
something similar to mine. Once you log
Okay.
in, your screen looks something similar to mine. Did you log in? Did you manage to see this screen?
Do we press sign up?
No, you've already signed up last time, didn't you? You
Oh.
just need to log in. Last time you signed with what? Kayla at Gmail? So you need to
Uh,
sign in with the same account. I don't know what your account is. I'm just saying something here.
Alice, do you want to take this in the breakout room?
Yeah.
Sure. Kayla, in the chat, could you click on the second link up from the bottom? The meet room.
So that is a separate breakout room where Alice can support you
okay.
through signing in and getting to the project that we are talking about.
Okay, I'm gonna join it.
All right, don't panic. We're not going away anywhere. Alice is just going to sit with you for a couple of minutes, sort things out for you, and you will come back to join us on this meeting room. Is that fine?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay, thanks, Lubna. So this is where your list of files is. You see these three files that REPL's already automatically created for you because you picked HTML, CSS, and JS as your topic. You have the IDE where you write your code, where you edit it, and then you have a section where your code actually runs and shows the output. Right? Now, how does it do the output? The output comes when you hit the run button, the play button on top. Do you guys see that? Yes. Okay. So now, we'll be using two files for today's class, index.html and CSS. Okay? So HTML is the code that we want to show on the web page. CSS is our style sheet or styling. All right. We'll get to CSS later, but I want you to get familiar. So in your REPL, there is a button on the top right corner that says share. Can everybody click on it? When you click on it, there is a pop-up screen that opens up with a copy button. Right? Click on the copy button and paste your REPL into the chat window. So Lubna has shared hers. Let me share mine. Okay, Cindy has shared hers.
Hubert, I believe.
Yes, I'm waiting for Hubert.
Cindy, do you know how to share your Replit?
I think Cindy already did.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah,
she?
I think the last one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is mine. So the reason why we're doing this is because if we get stuck somewhere, we can ask for help. We can all ask each other for help. Okay? So there's nothing to be afraid of. We're going to, if we get stuck somewhere, we can all ask each other for help so we can all take a look at each other's screens. You don't have to click any of those links right now. We'll just keep it for reference there. Fair? Thumbs up? Thumbs up. Okay. So far, we're taking a break now for about 5 minutes. So far, we've learned how to use Google Classroom. We know why we make websites. We kind of understand what codes are, writing a code means. Browsers. Hubert was kind enough to point us to Google Chrome. Cindy last time did Firefox, which was impressive. We know what HTML is. we know how to sign up and create a new REPL. And we know how to share our REPL. Now we're going to take a 5-minute break. All right. So, Kayla, I'm assuming now, Alice, you've actually figured out, you got her REPL open. You created a new REPL with her, and she has it open.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Let's carry on. So, what are we building today? We're trying to build something similar to this. So, this is why we picked an animal, but this is what we're trying to build today. I picked pandas for an animal. So, this is my web page. We're going to build something similar to this today. Does it sound good to everybody? All right. So, let's start doing this thing. Right? So go ahead and open up your index.html file. For some of you, it is already open. So I'm going to jump straight in. So you see there's already some code in your index.html when you created it, right? So these are called base HTML tags. They are necessary tags. This is for the browser to understand that whatever you're typing in there is going to be interpreted as HTML and show up on a browser as HTML. This is for the browser to understand that you are going to speak. So for instance, I am going to speak in English, right? So that all of you can understand. So this is the same thing. We're telling the browser we're going to speak in HTML, so you have to understand this. That is what we're establishing. So each of them, they have different purposes. So basically a doc type HTML, it is to tell HTML that everything, it's just to tell the browser that everything that follows is going to be HTML. Anything that you write in the HTML element, it is the first document that you need it. It is an absolute necessary to have it. The head is where the title goes. So it's basically information on your page. So for me, for instance, I set up my title as panda. So you see how my tab on the top reads panda? Does everybody see it? Okay. So that is how you control it. So you see there is a title inside the title. I wrote panda, and I run it, and then I get panda on the top. And then you have body. So this is the body. This is where all of you're going to write today goes. Whatever you're writing today will go here. This is what is going to be displayed on the browser. So on your web page, this is the section you will add things, and this is what will get displayed on your browser. So let's start building. So there are 6 heading tags that go from H1 to H6, right? So for instance, if I go to the favorite list of movies, right? I have favorite movies under H1, so it becomes the title or the main heading. And then under it, I have H2, H3. So it is basically by hierarchy, right? So how is this getting displayed on the browser? It gets displayed like this without CSS. So without styling it, this is how it gets displayed. So I have an exercise. Why don't you go and add an H1 tag? So you got to open and close your H1, your tags, remember? So go and add an H1 tag, but pick whatever animal that you're writing about and write an H1 tag. And then add 3 H2 tags for diet, habitat, and
Cool. So, all right, Cindy, can you give me a quick check if my code is right? I'm gonna share with you what I wrote. Can you pick anything if you think it's not correct? Hubert, Kayla, all 3 of you can play teacher now because I've written something. I don't know if that's correct. Do you think it's all right, or there are any mistakes in there that need correcting? I'll change that from H3 to H2. Cool. That was a mistake, but thanks for picking that up. Hubert, do you find anything wrong with my code? Maybe a bit more detail. All right, cool. I will add that.
Okay.
All fine? Can we proceed now? If there are no more mistakes with my code? Yeah? Cool. Irene, let's go.
So everybody see something similar to the screen that I'm sharing when they run the screen? Yes? All right. So I'm assuming everybody does, because again, I don't hear from yes or no's from anybody. So I'm going to move on, okay? All right. So next thing we're going to do is list. There are two types of list. One with numbers. So basically it's called an ordered list. And the other one just is bullet points, which is called an unordered list. So for an ordered list, you use OL. And every item in your list is listed with between the LI tags. So open and close OL, and then you will list your items with an LI tag. This is for an ordered list. So OL stands for ordered list. For an unordered list, you have UL. So unordered UL, and then you list every item in that list under within the LI tags. Does that sound good to everybody? Do you want to add list to our webpage? All right.
Yeah.
So under did you know, find 3 interesting facts about the animal that you picked up. Right? And let's add. To add LI and UL. So OL for ordered list, UL for unordered list, and for each item in the list, you add an LI. So under did you know, I want you to go in and add 3 interesting facts about the animal of your choice. And I will do the same.
Does everyone agree? Am I right in understanding that you've got to put UL for unordered lists when you want bullet points, and you've got to put OL for ordered lists when you want them numbered, right?
Okay.
Am I making a mistake? No? I'm being a good student here?
I did it with LE.
LE, no, LI. List items.
It's
French.
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 It's
It's French. It's French. It's
French.
French.
It's okay. Irene, chill.
LE, what LE?
It's L-I.
LE.
It's L-I. Yeah, it's okay. It's French. E is an
Yeah.
I.
Alphabet E for egg is U.
Oh. Okay.
Not O. It's
I
U. I know this can be weird, but we're not teaching French language here, so let's move on.
All right.
Am I supposed to do OL or UL?
So we're asking for an unordered list. So can you tell me what an unordered list would be like?
UL?
Amazing. UL. You're right. All right. So it's almost time for another break. So what do we do so far? We learned how to edit an HTML file. You're in your HTML file writing code, right? Index.html, everybody wrote their code in. Which file? Index.html?
Mm-hmm.
Which file did you write your code in, Kayla?
What does that mean?
So if you go to your REPL account, do you see the list of files on the extreme left corner?
Yeah. I think maybe we need to ask Kayla to be able to kind of share her repl because I think she's the only one who hasn't shared. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can you show her how to share it? I repl it.
Definitely. Kayla, can you see my screen? Can you see my REPL? Okay. Do you see which file we are editing? See how it's highlighted here? And do you see how the name is here on the IDE part?
Yeah.
What name do you have? Which file were you editing? What does it read here for you?
Where?
Here, where my pointer arrow is.
The same thing.
You see what? Can you read it out? Index.html, is that what you see?
On the top of index HTML.
Yes. So we've edited the index.html file, right? Okay, so we learned how to edit our index.html file, but Gerald is asking us to share your REPL. On the extreme right corner on top, do you see where my pointer is? There's a share button. Do you see a share button on the right corner? Click on it.
Okay.
And then what do you get? You get a pop-up screen?
Yeah.
In that pop-up screen, do you see a copy button? Or invite someone with the join link?
Yeah, I see a copy button, but it says no one is here.
Okay, that's fine. But click on that copy button.
Okay, I pressed it.
Okay, can you paste it onto chat? Paste it in the chat.
Can't see. Command V. Yeah, it's there.
All right. So now we can actually help you if you get stuck because we can actually see your REPL. We all shared our REPL before.
Okay.
Okay. So far, what are the things we learned? We learned how to edit an HTML file. We've added headings to our web page. We added paragraphs onto our web page, and we also created a. Are we all on the same page till now, so far? So we created an index.html, we added h1, we added a couple of h2 tags, and then we made some lists and some paragraphs. All good? Everybody's good with us so far?
Yeah.
All right. So now, time for a break.
Okay, I think that was a good exercise. We managed to get all the energy released. Time to focus now. Yeah, we're just on time as well. So let's get back to the website.
All right. So, I'm gonna skip this slide and I'll come back to this later. But let's jump into some CSS. What do you guys say? Let's make the website.
What is CSS?
Oh,
What is CSS? Oh God, what's that supposed to mean?
Does anybody know?
No.
Does anyone remember? Did we speak about CSS last week? No.
I don't think I did. Did anybody else speak about CSS last week?
If you didn't.
All right. So CSS is used to make our websites look nicer, right? So HTML is just your structure, whereas CSS is what makes your appearance look good. Your physical appearance.
So you mean to say that CSS manages essentially the packaging of it if you want to change the color scheme, any font, any shapes,
this is where your
borders
come into play.
Okay.
Background colors, text colors. this is where everything, all of those come into play.
Okay.
Ready?
So can we change the YouTube colors to not become the dull, the same way as the Instagram, like we were speaking about in the morning?
Well, we could, but maybe it will only work on our machine because we don't own Instagram or YouTube,
Okay, fantastic. Okay, let's get at it.
right? But we can actually change the colors on our website. We
Oh,
can
cool.
change things on our website because it's ours. We shouldn't be changing other people's webpage. That doesn't sound right, does it?
Well, we could if they pay us for it. But
Yes, if they hire us to change it. So CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Now, style sheet is just, it has its own different syntax. It has its own different grammar rules. So remember how HTML had opening tag, closing tag? Syntax has its own rules that it makes sure that HTML follows to make it look nice. So now we're going to edit this file called style.css. Remember, we have another file in that list of files on the side, on the left side. We're going to change style.css. Everything that we need to write for CSS will go in there. But how does your index.html know that it needs to read from this particular file? Can anybody tell me? You guys worked on index.html. Can you tell me how index.html would know that it has to read from this particular file to understand how to make everything look nice?
do we make a
You
link?
want to try? Okay. Hubert doesn't answer.
Come on, Hubert.
Yeah, I was gonna say you need to make a link.
Yes. So in your base HTML tag, you have something like this that includes the file and tells that this is your CSS sheet. Can everybody double check their index.html on REPL and say if they see this line? Make sure it's included. Does everybody see this line in their index file? In their HTML file.
Do you always have to keep that link in, in the head part?
It is preferably done in the head part, yes, because it's not content.
Hubert again?
Yeah, Hubert.
I got rid of all the stuff that was originally there when I made the website.
All right, so I can give you that line, and can you put it back in because we need that line, otherwise it's not going to work.
Okay.
Can everybody make sure that they have it?
I've shared that, Hubert. So if you can put that in the head part, I think it comes just after the title.
Yeah, so I can share my screen with you and show you where it comes. So see how it comes right after the title. Did everybody get that? All right, so once that's done, we can actually look at what the rules are of the grammar of CSS. Do you guys agree with me? So CSS is written as you select the tag you want to change. So for instance, what do you think this code does over here? Can somebody guess what this code does? Do you know what a p tag is? What is a p tag? Kayla, you know what a p tag is? We just did p tags before. What is a p tag?
It's for the paragraph.
Amazing. So what happens here? So I did p tag and I'm picking up a color and I'm saying red. So what happens?
I think it'll turn red.
Yes, so it will change all the colors of that paragraph text to red. But see how it's written? You say p tag, you open with curly braces, and you close the curly braces. But between those curly braces, you write what you want to do. So you write color, which is the property, and then you write the value, like red. That whole thing is called the CSS declaration. So this is how you write the syntax. So always you have the selector, the curly braces open and close, and in between those curly braces, we write our property, and then we write the color of the text or color, whatever value we want to give. Is that okay? Does everybody understand that? All right. So let's see an example. So for instance, I want to change the background color of my page to linen. And I want to change the color to forest green. There are more colors you can pick from. There are more colors you can pick from, but we're going to do this exercise together. So I want you to change. So this is what I want you to try. I want you to change the H1 heading. So I want you to add this piece of code in your style.css file. I want you to change the body background color to any color of your choice. I picked linen and H1 to color forest green. So can you guys type this? Also, something I missed to say. Interesting fact. Do you see how colors is spelled? Hubert, do you think there's a spelling mistake?
Yeah, there's meant to be a U after the.
Yeah.
second
So
color.
CSS, the guy who
Hold
invented.
on. Was it? Is it like a U? Maybe I should ask Cindy. Is that how we spell color?
No.
How do we spell color?
SLLUOR. Right?
All right. Okay. I guess maybe Irene should teach us. What is the correct way of spelling it?
So I'm gonna paste the link over here for anybody who wants to pick their own colors. But yes, so colors, it's a weird thing that CSS was built by somebody in America. So American English does not have a U. Now, this is the same thing with center. We don't do CENTE. No, sorry. We don't do RE, center with an RE. We do a center with a ER. So do you see how my screen, how in my example, I am spelling everything the American way? Because CSS was built with the American English. You can type the other one. It will not work. You can try it if you want. But you will see that it only works with American English.
Can you show us an example?
Sure, I can. I can. All right, let me share this tab then instead of that one. Just a second. All right, where is my REPL? Where is my REPL? Okay, here. Am I sharing this? No, I'm not. Not yet. So this is what I wanted to try. Can you guys see what I wanted you guys to try? Yes, no, maybe.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up? Okay. Sorry, I cannot see the presentation screen, that's why. So if I run this, what do you think is going to happen? All right, let's actually try with a U before I do that. See how it's already highlighting to tell me there's something wrong? It already tells me something is wrong. It does not understand what background color with a U is. It really doesn't. It doesn't know what color with a U is. But if I try with an O, it will immediately fix it. All right. So it looks like it's, let me see what happens if I do with a U. No, it did not work. It has an error. It did not work. So I'm going to change it to color with an OR and see what happens now. Look at that. I already added colors. Did everybody get that? The code is still on screen for anybody who's trying the exercise.
No, she don't do
So I have a question now.
Okay.
Now, in
Well,
the first one, we have specifically mentioned background color
Mm-hmm.
to linen. In the second one,
Mm-hmm.
we've just written color.
Mm-hmm.
So when we do that, does
Mm-hmm.
that refer to the background or the alphabets, the text?
Who has run the code to tell me this now? Who has written the code, run it, and who can tell me this? Who can clear up Lubna's question? So there's one background color and there's one color. Who can answer this question for me?
Why? Because I'd assume, going by the same logic, you should say text color or font color. If you don't say anything, what's
Yeah.
it supposed to change?
What did it change? Did you try it? Did anybody try it? Can somebody who tried tell Lubna what changed?
the background and the letters.
The background
Let
changed when you did the background color, but then when you did color, what changed?
If you don't write background, you only write color.
It wouldn't work because it would. I don't know what to do, but it changed the whole entire background into the color you wanted.
Okay. Okay, that is for the background color. What happened when you changed the H1 color to forest green?
You change the letters of the color, the title.
Okay.
Amazing. Hubert, did you have a question?
I was gonna say the same thing, that H1 is specifically saying the letters. So you don't really need to say
Nice.
text or background color.
So do you guys want to go ahead and try H2 while we wait for Kayla to finish?
So I have a question at this point. Sorry, Kayla?
Or finish the background.
Okay. Change the H1 too, and then the others can change their H2 in the meantime.
So I have a question. Does that mean if you don't write anything in your style.css file, then my background is going to stay white and all the text is going to stay black?
Yes, it is.
There you go. So YouTube and Instagram, they did not make any effort in changing the color schemes, meaning their style.css file should be blank, right? I'd
No,
assume
wouldn't
so.
be.
If they're going to keep it white background and all text stays black, which means that is the default option.
No, it wouldn't be, would it? Because they have.
Unless it's a different shade of black.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, unless they make it like some
It's a
kind of
dark,
gray black, blue black,
yeah,
red
it's a
black.
dark slate gray that they use. Dark. I think
Mm,
they use dark slate gray. I think that's the color that it's called.
cool. So which means if you don't do anything on your style.css
Yeah.
file,
Mm-hmm.
your pages will stay automatically black text on a white background.
Yep. So if I were to actually remove all of this and run it, it will go back to black and white.
Uh-huh.
Oops, where did I go? There you go.
This is not VS Code, my dear.
I know, I know, I know. Tell me about it. All right. So I added an H2 color, an H1 color, and I also added a background color. If you're done with this exercise, we'll move on so we can take another quick break soon.
Yeah, I think we can go on.
We can
Is
go.
everyone all right with that? All okay?
Cindy, are you okay there?
Yeah, I finished.
Okay.
Kayla?
So
Kayla, are you with us?
Yeah.
Did you finish your
all right.
style CSS?
Yeah, I put the background.
And what about the header? The H1?
No, I don't know how to do it.
Hmm. Alice, do you want to quickly help out Kayla? You're on mute.
Sure, I'm going to post a breakout room link in the chat. So look out for that, Kayla, please.
Okay. So everybody else is ready to continue?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, pixels. How many of you have heard the term pixels?
Is it the movie?
The movie.
That should have been the last movie that I watched.
Oh no. But it's not a Disney movie.
Yeah, unfortunately. Okay. So it doesn't fit the criteria. All right.
Okay. So, pixels is the tiniest unit that you see on your screen. Right? It's one dot on your screen. So, put together pixels and you will see an image. You change the color of each dot by dot on your screen and you see an entire image. Now, the number of pixels that's on your screen tells you the resolution of the screen. And the more the number of pixels, the better the picture. We all know this. How many of us have heard, like, oh, there's an ultra high definition TV that has come out? Right? We don't, like, I know for a fact that I don't care about my parents' standard definition television anymore. It's so old, the picture quality is so bad. How many of us have done that? We've seen an old movie and said, like, this is so bad, I can't watch this because this is bad, right? And that's because the resolution is very low. Because the cameras that they were used in olden days, they couldn't actually take images of higher resolution. So the more the number of pixels, the better the picture. So now in CSS, we have this trick where we can actually change the size of everything using pixels. It's an interesting concept, so bear with me. It's a little challenging to accept to get in the beginning, but bear with me, I'll explain this. So we can use pixels to say how wide we want a border to be, how thin we want our text to be, how many pixels we have, and so on and so forth. Okay?
So you mean to say that if I want to draw a border around my text, then I can specify how many dots I want in my border?
So
that's going to be
the border. So you're going to say the width of the border is supposed to take X amount of pixels.
So then I have to give a number. I want, say, 2 pixels. I want 3 pixels.
Exactly. So recent times, because there are multiple devices that we use, and each one has different pixels, we've actually phased out pixels slowly, and we've started using something called EM. And EM is usually about 16 pixels. But I want you to try something with me. I want you to go back into your style.css file, and in your body, under your body tag, I want you to add this line over here. I want you to say border and add, what do you think I should add? I'll add 1M to begin with. What do you guys think? Does that sound good? 1M?
I think.
Yeah?
Can you start with 0M? I would like to see what 0M is supposed to be.
Oh, sure. I can do 0M, but 0M is no thickness because there's nothing on the screen to show.
Oh, that's what it's supposed to mean.
So now I can do 0.5M and see what happens. Where is my border? I can't even see it. What is going on?
Maybe we need to give the border a color.
Yes, there we go. Maybe we can give the border a color. What color do you think I should give?
I'll give it a black border. Contrast.
green, maybe. Oof, I just copy.
Green?
Yeah, maybe. What do you say? Everything else is green on my website. Green
Mm.
glasses? What do you say?
Sure.
What do you say?
Let's try this. If we don't like it, we'll change it.
Okay, so I can give it green, but does it know what kind of line I want for the border? Not really. So I want to say I want to do a solid green. Run this. Ah, I have a border with a green border now. I have a web page with a green border now. What do you guys think of it? Does it look good?
You know what? I'm becoming a bit ambitious here. I want a dotted one, a spotty one.
Oh, spotty one. How do we do a spotty one? Can somebody tell me?
Let's try.
Hubert.
Uh,
Hubert's got a hand up.
all right. Hubert's got a hand up. Let's go, Hubert.
So where you put solid, would you just put dotted?
That's it. All right. Let's try that. Did it? Oh, it did work.
Oh, the presentation doesn't show here that it actually worked. I see the same solid line.
Which screen am I sharing? Okay, I see what happened.
Oh,
I'm supposed to share this tab, not that one. Ah, wrong place. That's why. So let me do it again. It was solid, ran it, do dotted. Now what happened? Look at that. Does everybody want to try doing this now? On your web page?
Cindy, are you following? You've been quiet. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna try 3M and see how thick this 3M is going to be on my page. What do you guys think? Oof! Oh my god! What happened? What size do you think is better? 1M? I think I'll stick with 0.5. What if I try pixels?
By the way, I'm just wondering, is it okay to still do like 0.25 or 0.01? Is that all possible?
So let me try 0.25. If I had 0.5, I can try 0.25. Oh, my dots became too small.
Okay.
I don't know whether I like too small. I think I can do 0.5. Yeah, it seems to work. Point seems to work.
What if I just want to draw a horizontal line after the H1, after giant pandas? I want to say, draw a line, and then I have the rest of the body to follow.
Okay, I can do that. But that one, we have to go back to index.html and add an HR tag. It is also a self-closing tag.
Mm-hmm.
That way. Is that what you were looking for, Lubna?
So if I want to draw a line, it's not part of style.css.
No.
It's actually a component that I've got to include in my HTML code.
Well, there are several ways to do this, to be honest with you, but HR is the easiest way to do for now.
I'll go with the easy route.
Yes.
I'm not going to bother learning too many things to do the same thing. I'm fine with HR.
Yes.
Come to think of it, it also is the abbreviation for human resources, the kind of people that I don't want to receive emails from.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Not the best of times to remember HR. No.
What's going on? What's
Well,
going on, Hubert? I see the hand. Hey, Hubert. Do you have a question? Do you have a
Hello?
question?
Yeah, my border's not coming up.
Okay.
Can you share your Replit, please? I'll have a look.
Okay. Share. Let me see. Copy.
Did you tell what kind of line you wanted? The color?
Yeah, put everything.
Okay.
Okay, let me take a look. Okay, so let's open your style dot HTML. Aha, so you missed your semicolon in the first line. Do you want to have a look at your Replit?
Right, now I can see it. The border's too thick.
Yes. Yeah, so let's make it 0.2 instead of 2 centimeters.
We want to use M. Do not use centimeters because they change from device to device.
Hmm.
We want to use EM.
Oh,
All right, I think that's sorted.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I think we have
Okay.
Kayla back, so maybe if we kind of give her a little bit of a refresher, maybe to catch up with the rest.
Okay. So Kayla,
Yes.
were you able to change the text color?
Yeah.
Okay. So after that, we added this particular line that you see on the screen,
Mhm.
the one that I'm showing you. We added that line to add a border around the page that we're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you write it in the chat so I can?
Lubna's already put it in the chat for you. You just need to add the border line. Just this line
Okay.
alone.
Okay, so you write border 2.0
Border colon 0.5 m em
0.5 em.
Okay, border.
Anikita.
Yeah. And Lubna,
So one,
Lubna,
yep.
uh,
No?
those numbers that you put over there with the hash in the beginning,
0.5.
I don't understand them. Yeah, what are
Yeah.
those numbers? Maybe we should use different numbers.
Uh,
Um,
Yeah.
yes. So what happens is each color it has like a code associated with it. So if we have a color, it has a name as we understand in English language, like green, forest green. In my case, I've used rosy brown. It's some kind of a dusky brown, as the English people they
Mm-hmm.
call it. So that is the name that we have in a common language that everyone can
Okay.
understand.
hmm?
But but if we go to the link that Irene shared
Mm-hmm.
with us, you have a whole load of colors that you can choose from. And if you want to select one from that list, it actually gives you the numbers, the so that is the code for the color that you can use. So either you go with the
Okay.
common name or you give the number that belongs to that color
Oh,
code.
wow. Okay. I now understand. I didn't like the numbers, so I wanted some really nice colors, but I could get the colors using numbers. Fantastic.
But there is a bit of a
Mm.
catch actually, because not everyone remembers all the numbers, not all the names. So you might just want to keep a set of your favorite colors you want to use for your website going forward. That might just, save a lot of time and trouble going forward. I know I'm not like some of our very smart, energetic younger
Mm.
learners. So I if I find a color that I like, I'll just write it down. and save it somewhere that I'll tend to reuse it the next time I want to create a website. Because can't be bothered, you see, looking up the website and searching for that number, that code. I think it's a bit of an effort, really.
Okay. Hubert, how are we doing? Did you try the exercise? Okay. Cindy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kayla?
All right.
Kayla, are we still working on?
Yes, I'm trying to do
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Pourquoi tu vas en bas? Continue ici.
Okay.
Continue
So
là.
we'll wait for Kayla to finish, but we will
Hello.
quickly jump to the next slide so that we can actually take a break while Kayla finishes. So we learned what is CSS. We learned how to edit a CSS file. We learned how to change background colors. And hopefully you all picked bright and nicer colors than YouTube and Instagram picked. So it's now black and white.
What was it?
We modified text colors. We kind of understand how to use pixels and M. And we also added a border. Is that right, everybody?
I think I forgot what
Yes?
CSS is. Can anybody help me? What's
Ooh.
I know the S and S is style sheet. What is C for? Caravan? Camel?
Something to do with a waterfall. What happens when a waterfall rolls?
I don't know. Cindy, do you want to help us out?
I don't really know.
Hubert? Is it cascade?
I forgot what the C means.
Did you hear what Lubna asked?
Is it cascade? I mean, waterfall and cascade makes sense. But what connection does it have to a styling sheet?
Is it coded styling sheet?
Is that so? Really?
It's a cascading style sheet because everything rolls into the next one. It's hierarchical. So you can choose the body. So remember how we chose the body and we made changes to it? I can also change things that is inside the body tag, like the paragraph. I can style the paragraph separately.
So
It
if I want to change the color for one paragraph and keep the others in another color, then
Yeah,
I can do that.
exactly. But if you don't specify it, anything that is specified on a higher level tag will just cascade into the next one. So it flows into the next one. So like for instance, I changed the body to have a certain, say for instance, text color. Now let's try it. Why am I speaking about it? Let's try. Okay, so I want to change the text color for everything to, let's say, oh no, I'm gonna pick another green color, but all right, green yellow. Oh, semicolon. Did I forget something? No. It changes. But now, if I go into my P tag and add another color, so see how everything changed in my P tag, regardless I didn't mention it to be changed, right? Now I can actually change my P tag, and as soon as I change my P tag, everything in the body is dismissed. But did you notice how my did you know section hasn't still changed? Can anybody tell me why that is?
It's not within the P tag.
What is it in then?
The list, unordered list.
Yes. So everything that was under the P tag got changed because it adhered to this particular style sheet rule. Whereas in the list, it's not mentioned. But if I were to take this away and run it again, it cascades. Everything is going by the color of what is mentioned in the body.
Ah,
That is why
okay.
it's called cascading style sheet.
Mm.
It still doesn't make any connection to a waterfall.
It rolls, it cascades into the next one. That's basically.
Mm. Okay, so essentially, my understanding is, let me just
Mhm.
put this down. So if I specify something at a higher level, it will apply to the whole thing. And if I don't mention anything explicitly,
Mhm.
each of the components within the higher level, that is,
Mhm.
will follow the same rule that applies.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Let's take a quick 5-minute break.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So just moving
Yeah.
forward,
Yeah.
uh, we have.
Suivre.
I'm going to share my tab with you because I did a double border.
J'aime
Mm-hmm.
juste pas le dark.
We will need. I've done a double border. For those of you who are looking to have some fun with your CSS, there is a CSS property value per student sheet
Juste
for
tout.
reference in your class student sheets. So in Google Classroom, remember how I was saying there are student sheets? If you actually go and click CSS property value pair, you can see how some of these things are done. So remember border, the style that includes the border. You can do solid, you can do dotted, you can do dashed, you can do double. These are available to you for reference for later. So continue to take your web pages after the class too. Do not stop. So right now I added a double line, as some of you can probably have seen. This is how mine looks right now because I added a double line. But just to keep time in place, and we're going to move forward quickly. So for those who can see my screen right now, what do you see? My border is actually touching the content. Is that pretty?
Sometimes you tend to miss the alphabet that's very close to the border, especially along the left margin.
That is
Um,
true.
it's not a great thing, especially if you are probably reading something on a smaller screen, then you will miss the alphabets along that margin. Not
Okay,
pretty. Can we add a little bit of space between the
so
text
we can.
and the border?
Yes, we are. So what we're going to do is we're going to understand this diagram first because this is a very important concept for CSS. So we have the content, which is what we wrote. So we wrote what the diet of like I wrote what the diet of a panda is, where they live, and then I added a border, but I didn't add a margin or a padding. So if I add a margin or a padding, it is going to push the border away from the content. And then if I add a margin, it's going to push the content inward. So it pushes the border away from the extreme left. So here, if you notice see how if I highlight it, it's the double dash, the double line is actually to the extreme left. I don't want that. I want to give it a little bit of space. So we're going to add some border. We're going to add some margin and padding to our borders. So I want you to try this. To the body element, I want you to try and add a margin of 1 em and a padding of 3.5. So look something like this.
Okay. I think
So inside the body, yeah.
I have a question after that, so it's okay. Let's continue.
So inside the body, I'm going to do this with you. So inside the body tag in your style CSS, so remember to add it before the braces close. So add margin. What did I say margin was supposed to be?
Yes, that was my question. What was margin? Yeah, I couldn't really
1 em.
understand margin and padding. How do they fit in?
Okay,
Yeah.
margin was supposed to be 1 em and padding was supposed to be 3.5 em. So let me show you how they are different from each other one by one.
Okay.
So now I'm gonna add padding first. I'm just gonna add margin first. I run it. Oh, see how I got a space between the screen?
Mm.
For those of you who didn't see that, this is another screen that I haven't refreshed yet, so you can see it here. So as soon as I add margin and refresh the screen, see how the border gets pushed away from the extreme corner of the screen towards inside. So that's what margin does.
Okay.
Now if
So,
I
if my understanding is right, margin is the space with respect to the edge of the page. Like if we take an A4 size sheet of paper, we're looking at the edges of the page.
so margin is that goes between the edge of your screen and your border.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it goes between your screen. So see how your screen ends over here. So do you see this line over here where the margin ends, the blue light blue line? So
Mm-hmm.
it goes between your screen and your border. That's where your margin goes.
Okay.
Padding goes between a border and your
Mm.
content. So now let me go back and add my padding in. I said padding was going to be 3.5. If I run it, see how everything got into the center of the page properly? Now you can read all the alphabets, right? On the extreme left. Lubna?
Yep.
Yep. So let's add those two lines. Margin of 1M and padding of 3.5. It has to be between the curly braces of the body. Once everybody is done, can we say done?
Yep. Done.
Okay. Who else is done? Ooh, what happened? Anybody else who is done?
I'm done.
Okay. So you've added margin and padding to your page. So your page must look something similar to this. It depends on what colors you pick, but it's something very similar to this. Right?
Hmm.
Did you all get that? For those of you still coding, I still have the screen here for you. So now your body must look something similar to this. You might have its own different colors, but now your body should look something very similar to this. All right, if everybody's okay, I'm gonna keep moving. So that is what we did now. We're going to move to the next thing. We're going to change some of the fonts in our style, in our page. So for those who want to choose a font family, again, these are in your CSS property value student sheets. You can change the font by using font family. Does anybody want to try this out onto their body in style.css? Add this line into your body for style.css.
What are we supposed to write?
It's in the chat, sweetheart.
Okay.
So we're supposed to write font family courier new. So how it comes is your body is gonna completely change to look like this or similar to this because your colors are not the same.
Kayla, I've done that for you, sweetheart. I've added that line for you.
Okay.
All right, so you've added margin, padding, and font. Now what if you want to change your font size? And this is only for your paragraphs. I only want you to change your paragraphs. So font size and style for your paragraphs. I'm going to make mine I'm going to isolicize my font. I'm going to share this screen with you because I'm working along with you side by side. I know I'm going a little fast, but if anybody gets stuck, let me know. I'll slow it down. I just want to keep in time of the mind. Keep in time of the mind. Keep in mind of the time. Goodness. Second round of coffee should come soon. On style, I want to. Let's say isolate. And my semicolon. Ooh.
Different senses? Oh no.
Kayla, just a second. Can I just tell you that you need to put all of these within your curly braces, which means you go to the previous line where you have color, colon, aquamarine, finish it with a semicolon, come back to the next line, and here you enter your font. You
So
want to continue typing?
go under the same. All your properties have to go under the same selector you intend to change.
Yeah, so one common error that all of us tend to make is that we don't see that the curly braces have already closed in the line before, and we start typing in the line after, which doesn't get our code working. So what we need to be mindful is that all the code we need to put goes between the curly braces, and make sure every line finishes with a semicolon. Yeah? Does that make sense, Kayla? Yeah. Go on, dear. Do you want to continue typing and watching? Byron, looks like everything's good. We can carry on.
Yes. So I wanted us to take a quick break here because the next concept are a little bit challenging because we're going back to HTML.
Oh, we are all set and ready
All right.
for that challenge.
So we learned how to add margin and padding so that everything looks pretty for us. So we learned how to add margin. Yes, Gerald?
Yeah, I was just saying you're not sharing the slides.
I see. Okay, sorry. I think it was just a delay, but yes. So we learned how to style with margin and padding. We figured out how to pick a font style. And then we also changed how to add the font size. And we did font sizes and weight of fonts. For those of you who want to continue changing font styles, there is a list of font styles that I can give. It's also in the reference sheet. You don't have to look at it now because we're kind of running out of a little bit of time. Okay? But it's there for you if you really want to look at it. So I'm going to skip this movement break unless anybody wants to use the washroom, drink a water, and want to play a game so that you can relax. I'm going to just jump into the next topic. Does any
good?
Great? Is Kayla, Hubert, and Cindy good to continue? Okay, so we're going to finish this quickly today. All right. So this is where we all got stuck last time. So let's actually try and do better. We're going back into our index.html file in REPL. We're done with our CSS file for now. Let's go back into our index.html. Okay? Is everybody back on their index.html file?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I know somebody said that they wanted to have a link to, say for instance, I wanted to add a link to I picked giant pandas. I wanted to add a link to the Wikipedia page about giant pandas. Right? How can I do that? I do that with something called an href tag. A stands for area, href is the link. So you start by writing an angle. This is another one of those tags that actually say start with an href, and you add your URL, your link, and then you say this is the text to click. So you close that particular tag, write the text to click, and then you close the A tag. See how I'm closing the A tag? There's always a forward slash. Right? So I want you to go and add a Wikipedia link to your page so we can read more section. Can everybody do that? The solution is on the page. I want you to do that in your index.html file. So we were working with CSS. We're going back to HTML file. So let me share my screen with you. So I'm doing this with you. All right. So index.html.
Wait, where do we do it?
In your HTML file, under the did you know section with the list,
Okay.
you can add a link at the bottom of the page. But before the body tag ends, it has to be within your body tag. Right? So I don't know the link to Wikipedia's Panda page, so I'm gonna look it up first. And there we go. I need to go to the top of the browser, copy the link, put it in my double quote, Panda, and I close my A tag. All right, let's run this. Oops, my A tag doesn't show. What happened? Is the link wrong?
You're missing the content.
Oh, I am missing where I need to click. Thanks, Gerald. Now let's try this again. Read more on pandas. Run. Ooh, I have a link. If I click on that link, what happens? Oh, it opens the panda page. Nice. It works. Were you guys able to get that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna move on then. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, images. We have 4 kind of images that we use usually on the website, on a web page. So GIFs, which is what we usually send memes with. So you know how funny memes we pass around that goes in a tiny loopy video? Those are usually GIFs. Then we have JPEG. These are all file extensions, okay? So JPEGs, which is usually how we take photographs on. PNGs are usually used in logos. And SVG is used almost everywhere where an artist is concerned, for the most part. So if you're an artist, you still get to work in computer science. If you like to do creative things, you still get to work in computer science because somebody needs to create art. So an image tag is a self-closing tag. Remember I was telling you that everything that opens in HTML also closes 90% of the time? Now this is where one of the exceptions come into play. An image is a self-closing tag. So what that means is it opens and it doesn't need another closing tag with an angle brace and a forward slash. It closes by itself. So IMG stands for image. SRC stands for where the image is coming from. Alt is an alternate text that you can show if the image doesn't show up. So see, for instance, this exists. So I got a display like this to say, hey, it's a kitten. It's supposed to be a kitten image, but somehow it's broken. Also, if you hover on it, it will show up hidden. It is helpful usually for people who are um, visually disabled because it helps in reading the content of the web page easier. Okay? Is everybody okay with that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to go and try this and add this somewhere on your page. So there are two ways to add image tags on your page. We're trying one of them. We're trying to add an image from a web page, from a URL. Okay. So let's actually do a thing. Next time when you come, try and add an image on your web page that is based on, so right now we added a cat, but I want to add, for instance, I want to add a panda image. Why would I say panda and add a cat, right? So I want you to pick a panda image for next time and add a panda's image there, or whatever your animal is, that image there, instead of the cat image that I gave you. Is that good? Does that sound good to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Can you all do that on your own? Later? Okay. All right, then let's continue. So this last section, what did we cover? We covered how to add links to a web page. We learned how to add an image into a web page using an online URL image. We did not learn how to do it from a folder, but we learned how to insert an image into the website. Resizing of an image is a challenge exercise that I would like you to do on your own, if possible. If not, just put a note in the classroom and we'll help you out. But it's a challenge exercise. The hint is that you are going to find it all in the CSS property value student sheets in the Google Classroom. Does that sound good to everybody? Okay. Now, we did an amazing job. I want to extend this and try and make sure that you guys do your own project. Anything that you would like to do, generally, but I have an idea that I picked just in case if somebody couldn't come up with an idea. I would like you to create a new repo to write about somebody you admire. You can add images, links, lists, paragraphs because you already know how to do them. You know how to add CSS so that it looks nice. You have reference materials in Google Classroom that you know how to access to. Do you think you guys can do it by Halloween? What do you say? October 31st. You can? Okay. Hubert says yes, he can. Kayla and Cindy, I can't see you, I can't hear you, so I do not know. Is that okay with you too?
I don't really think I can. Sure.
I want you to try. I want you to try because
Okay.
I want you to share. I want you to share it so that you can try.
Okay.
Right? So everybody who worked today, amazing job. We're able to see some of your raffles. It is amazing. But what all did we cover today?
There's a question, I think, from Hubert.
Hubert, yeah.
Where do we like put our REPL when we've done?
Sorry?
Right, do you know how you told us to do the project?
Yes.
So when we've done that, where do we share the link?
So in the Google Classroom, there is something called the stream. You can just share your link over there with your name. Does that sound good? Yes. Okay. So today we actually kind of explored REPL a little bit so that we can build a web page online. We added paragraphs, headings, lists, and images to our website. We styled our website. We styled the headings, paragraphs. We changed fonts. We added borders. We did margins and padding. right? And we also have some reference materials that we can actually refer to make sure that we have things we can work on. Does that sound good? Okay. So, everybody, give yourself a clap and a pat on the shoulder because you did amazing today. You all did amazing today. Good job, everybody. Good job, everybody. All right. So, whatever you worked on today, share it in the Google Classroom stream so we can all see and appreciate your work too.